Hello, YouTube. It's Asa'r here with you with some more insight that you probably haven't thought about. If you're new to my channel, do subscribe. And to my current subscribers, thank you for subscribing to my channel. All right, let's get into this. All right, so yesterday it came across, social media and everything about Kobe Bryant and his daughter's uh, death um, as of Saturday night, apparently. All right. Now, everyone knows how helicopters versus planes work. There are more plane crashes than there are of helicopter crashes. And when you think about it, you don't really hear much about helicopters crashing. And for someone like Kobe Bryant to have always taken helicopters for years, why all of a sudden now would his helicopter crash? This man had more money that he could buy a private helicopter. So therefore, if he knew that he would be flying, not only flying in his helicopter, but have his child with him, it's a pretty good chance he would have that helicopter serviced and or maintained regularly before he would board it. So one must think, how in the hell does a helicopter crash? That's not something you hear commonly, of a helicopter crashing. Planes, jets, yeah, they crash. But a helicopter, something doesn't sit right with that. And then you have to look at, okay, well, this has stirred up the indigenous people to have them looking at not only NBA legend has died suddenly, but his child died along with him. So you have to wonder, that's a really big, how can I put it? That's a really big distraction for one to have. And if you think about it, what better way to distract the indigenous people than to have a death of someone as prominent as Kobe Bryant? And this add insult to injury, his daughter along with him. Something else is going on with that. Why this distraction? What could possibly be happening in the background that they need all of the indigenous people's attention diverted to this distraction? And I am not lessening this man's death or his daughter's death. I am pointing out something that people need to look at. Okay? This is a distraction. Why did this man die suddenly? Why all of a sudden a helicopter, which we all know helicopters do not crash that often. Very rarely do you hear that ever happening. Everything that has been going on with this impeachment crap, which we know is crap, that's the big entertainment show. Now we have a bigger distraction that would distract the indigenous people, because we all know how indigenous people are about basketball and football, especially basketball. So you have all of, specifically, the indigenous males' attention and distraction over to this death, or these deaths, Kobe and his daughter, and one other player that they have still yet to reveal. And then you've got the sympathy of the female indigenous as well. So therefore, the entire indigenous community that follows that is distracted. All of their attention is on this one thing. So you have one hand showing you this, what's happening behind the back. So I say this with all respect that I can. Yes, it is a tragic thing that Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna were taken suddenly. Yes, that is a tragedy. But one has to notice the irony of how ironic this is, that with everything going on since this year has unofficially started, because we know January is not the start of a new year. This is New Year's do not start when everything is dead. It starts when everything is alive, spring. But for sake of argument, ever since 2020, quote unquote 2020, has started, a lot of shenanigans have been going on. You've got Australia burning, literally. There, you can thank the Seraphine for that one. That is literally an omen. All of these omens are going on. That is in your face, and you cannot see past it enough to notice what's going on, because they're putting a distraction in front of the world every single day. The impeachment thing has the attention of all of the inhabitants of America. Now you've got specifically the indigenous attention to divert their attention away from what's really truly going on in front of your face. They are distracting you with whatever they possibly can to keep you from noticing something that they don't want you to see. We are in a time where things are coming to a close for these creatures, for our adversaries who are melanated, who have been keeping us in a state of captivity. Our captivity is at an end. It's at a close. That is why all of the information is coming out. That is why we are awakening. Those of us who are awakening now, that is it. To say that, oh, other people are going to wake up, no, those of us who are going to be enlightened and have things brought back to our remembrance is just that. All of those whose hearts are still hardened, whose ears are deafened and eyes are blinded, those blinders are not coming off. If they were going to come off, they would be off by now. Their ears are not going to be undeafened. If that was going to happen, that would happen. And their hearts are not going to soften. If that was going to occur, it would occur. So those who have been blessed by the Ruach HaKodesh, the voice of Hawa, the enlightenment of the Creator, okay? The hand being led, that's leading you, is the hand of your power, which is Hawa, your Creator, your power. The Ruach HaKodesh is the wisdom from Hawa. He's the one who gives it to you. So if the Ruach HaKodesh has not been given to you, then no. Those who have not been granted that will not be granted it. Period. So if you have been given the Ruach HaKodesh. You should be very grateful that you have been given it. This, to some people, may sound a little callous, but it's the truth. You can't sit here and allow yourself to believe other people who you try to show them everything you can show them. Okay? You show them that this is what's going on. You show them everything that backs up what you're saying. You line it up biblically. You line it up with the history. And then you line up the history with the people and the land. And they still don't see it. They still don't want to believe it. They're not going to. They're not meant to. They are not chosen. Hawaii knew them not. He knows them not. So therefore, they cannot fathom something that they do not have within their remembrance. He didn't know them to begin with. There's vessels of destruction and there's vessels of mercy. That goes for so-called Negroes of Hebrew descent, unfortunately, but that is why I said it will be a remnant of the house of Israel. A remnant. If you know what a remnant is, there you go. It's basically a fragment of what it used to be. A remnant is a fragment. So you've got remnants. You have a remnant. You have a huge fragment. That's it. To start again. I am trying to show you that when it comes to this distraction of the untimely demise of an indigenous legend in the NBA, it is a distraction. It is a distraction that they purposely caused. Okay? Everyone who has common sense knows how helicopters are. They do not crash randomly. It's very rare that a helicopter will crash. Very rare. It'd be a little more believable if it were, a plane or a jet. Yes, that happens. Unfortunately, that happens very commonly. Okay? But a helicopter is rare. Especially in this day and age for a helicopter to crash. Now, they crash if, say, I don't know, they're shot down. Or they blow up. They need help to blow up. But helicopters don't really crash. You need to think about this. How is it that they know Kobe and his daughter Gianna was on this helicopter, okay? Why is it that the other player and parent is unknown? Now, helicopters don't get that high. They don't get as high as that of a plane. They always fly a little bit lower than a plane does, obviously. So why would a helicopter be at the altitude of a plane? There's no need for it to be that high. A plane, 30,000 feet, give or take. Helicopters have no need to climb that high. So, how is it going to crash randomly? Did it crash into a mountain? No. These pilots are trained. These helicopters are more secure than that of a plane because of their unique design. They're a little safer than that of a plane. Okay? So, really think about why they have not released the name of this other player and other parent that was aboard his helicopter. Is it really that bad off that they can't decipher who it is? Because possibly the remains are that unrecognizable. Think about it. my thing is, his death is not a coincidence. Okay? That man was 41 years old. His daughter was 13. Everything that you see that is put in front of your face, you need to look at why are they putting that in your face? Because they caused it. But why did they cause it? What are they wanting you not to see? Okay? What is it that they don't want you looking at right now? There's something going on right now that they want the indigenous people specifically to be distracted. And I say indigenous specifically because guess what? Predominantly, who watches the NBA? Indigenous people. Predominantly. So think about it. Tribes Most High, I need you.